Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video, and I'm just out here on my Facebook page double checking that I am live where I want to be, which hopefully I am, and pulling it up here so I can see if anybody's joining us or if y'all are saying hello. If you are jumping in, feel free to say hello. If you're watching live or watching the replay, either one is great. But today I thought I'd show you a quick card that I made here with some new stuff from the it's now called the January to June mini catalog, 2020 mini catalog, rather than the occasions catalog. I'm not really sure why they changed the name to that big long thing, but they did. They felt like it better described the catalog, which I sort of thought occasions was kind of easy. But anyway, so they have a big new long name for it. So these are some brand new products that I got. I was able to, hey, Catherine, and hi, Patricia. Thanks for joining. I see Karen's here too. So hopefully you're not having to sneak time off work to come see me, Karen. So, all right. So these are some new products that I got in my pre-order, that those of us who went to the onstage events got to order from some new products, and this is one of them. This is one of the bundles that we could choose to order. So hey, Samantha, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Jean, I see. Oh, and Mary's here too. All right, cool. Glad y'all are joining me today. Apparently today is a good day. So all right, so I'm going to show you a quick card that I made. For those who have seen the catalog, you will probably see, hey, Cindy, thanks for hopping in today. You will probably see I sort of cased a card out of the front of the catalog. So I had to change a few things because I didn't have everything exactly as Stampin' Up! Had it on the card because I didn't have the designer paper. But it's basically, hey, Anita, thanks for joining too. Oh, all the way from Australia, cool. So good to see you here. Anyway, so it's a card from the new catalog, and hopefully I didn't just call it the occasions catalog, the mini catalog. But it's a card that I found, or that I saw in there that I liked, so I figured I would go ahead and give it a try and see if I could recreate it. So this is the card, and it uses the Forever Blossoms stamp set, which is one of the new ones from the upcoming mini catalog, and it has a beautiful coordinating die set with it, which the die set are called the Cherry Blossoms dies, and it's going to take me forever to remember all of these, the names of all the new things, but this is the Cherry Blossoms dies. This big die cuts out obviously the big flower, and then these cut out the little flower here. This one cuts out the kind of medium-sized flower. There's a die cut for the leaves. Both leaves have got die cuts or dies for them. And then there are some images here, some flowers and things and leaves that are just die cuts that coordinate with it. The nice thing is that, as you can see on a couple of these, they actually are the kind that cut and emboss at the same time. So they are beautiful. It's a fantastic set of dies, a beautiful bundle, and it's actually in a product suite with some beautiful designer series paper. And actually I used some of that designer paper on the background of this card. So yes, this is definitely one of my favorite sets. There are so many favorite things, but this one I know I'm going to be using a lot because I love flowers, and anything with the die set, I just say sold. So, all right. The other thing that we're using today on this card is from the Parisian Beauty stamp set, and this is again another new stamp set from the upcoming mini catalog. And I use the sentiment. I'm going to use a different one. I'm going to use this sentiment on the card we're making today, but this is the sentiment I put on this one. So this one also has a set of dies called Parisian dies, strangely enough, and that coordinate with these images. But we're not using those dies today, so I didn't pull those out for you. All right, so let us go ahead and get rolling on the card that we're making today. So I'm going to set it aside so I hopefully don't make a mess on it. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere some of that Parisian Blossoms Specialty Designer Series paper. And the reason that it's specialty is hopefully you can see it on the screen, but there are champagne foil accents on some of the pages of this paper, and they're very, very pretty. But of course we're gluing it with the champagne side down today. So a little bit of snail. This is Pool Party cardstock that's cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And then the designer series paper is cut to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. But no need to worry about writing all that down. I'll put it all out on my blog post tomorrow. If you don't follow my blog, it's stampwithamyk.com. So pretty simple, pretty easy to remember. And you can sign up to follow it out on my on the right-hand sidebar of my blog. You'll see a little spot where you can sign up to follow along with me. So as you can see, I have pre-done and kind of prepped a few of the things so that you didn't have to sit and watch me color and die cut 59 billion pieces of things. So I see Paula's here as well. So, All right, so this is actually sort of, I think it's supposed to be a stem kind of accent. I don't know. I think it's a stem. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know what you all feel like it is, but I'm calling it a stem. And I'm going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue, just a couple little dabs here and there because it's a pretty small, thin die cut. I don't want to have big globs of glue on it. And I'm going to flip it over and adhere it here on my card front and hopefully get it pretty close to where I had it in my sample. And then stick it down here and try not to stick it to my fingers. So, oh, Karen just got hers too. It's very, very pretty. So hopefully you'll like it and use it a ton too. So, all right, so we've got that glued down. The next thing I did, again, like I said, I pre-colored and pre-cut some of the things on the card front for you. So these, again, are little flowers and leaves from the Forever Blossoms stamp set. And I've stamped them in Smoky Slate ink and colored them with some blends. And this one I saved a few pieces so that I could show you how I colored it. But all the flowers and the leaves were all colored the same way, so I didn't want you to have to sit and watch me color because, you know, I'm not extremely good at coloring anyway. So, all right, so I've got the light and dark So Saffron Stampin' Blends markers, and that's what I use to color, you can use the brush end here, the majority of the flower images. So just going to color the little leaves. This is the light So Saffron Blends that I'm going here first with, and just going to color and cover the full flower, the full petal on each flower, or full petal, I guess it is. Yep, for the flower here. And then I'm going to come back in and the wonky branch thing. Yeah, I like that name too. Maybe we'll go with that and call it that. And then I'm going to come back in with some dark So Saffron. And basically just kind of add a few, I guess they're lowlights. I was going to call them highlights, but lowlights with the dark So Saffron Blends. Put that in there. And then I actually came back in with light Mango Melody just to give it a little bit more contrast kind of down here in the very center of the flower. And I was sort of surprised at how well these two colors went together. I wasn't sure that it was going to work out, but I kind of like the end result of it. I think it turned out okay. So I'm calling it good on that. So I'm going to come back here. I do want to add just a little bit more of the light So Saffron around here because I feel like this flower isn't quite as dark as some of the other ones are. And if I get too heavy-handed, I can always use the color lifter and come back and remove some of the color, which I think I probably will do that as well. So just take a little bit out here and there to lighten it up. And this is kind of how I do my blends. I just sort of color, and if I get too much color, then I'm like, oh, I think it's time to lift a little. So that's how I do it. All right, so that's basically how I did all the flowers. And hey, Nancy, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I see Christine's here too, so thanks so much for joining today, ladies. Then I used the light Old Olive marker for the leaves. And for these, I actually didn't bring out the dark Old Olive because I didn't want the leaves to necessarily get any darker. I like to kind of a little bit lighter on the color of them. So I actually colored them completely with the Old Olive marker and then came back in actually with the color lifter. So it lightened the color just a little bit rather than coming back in with a dark and darkening it. So just use the color lifter to pick up a little bit of it or move it around. I guess it kind of pushes it to the back side of the cardstock. So it's not quite as evident, but basically, yep, that's how I did it. So that is it for the coloring on here. So then the next thing I did was went ahead with the die. This is the Cherry Blossoms die set again that coordinates with your Forever Blossom stamp set. And I'm going to go wheel over 1 second and cut this out so you can chatter amongst yourselves. Hey, thanks, Mary. I'm glad you like the colors on the flowers. Hopefully you can still hear me. But yeah, I like the colors and was kind of surprised at how much I liked the one with the Pool Party cardstock as well. So, of course, my die is not being cooperative. I'm using a magnetic platform and it's deciding it's going to push the die around a little bit, so I'm having to wrestle with it for a second. It's never speedy. Never speedy when I'm on camera. I can always do it in a heartbeat when I'm sitting here by myself. All right. You can hear the creaking and crunching over here. That's just the die cutting machine. And it looks like we got a decent die cut. So I will wheel myself back here. Put the die away before I lose that. So that's the die cut flower. So I like the way that looks and I'm happy with that. So we're gonna move forward with the card. When I went to lay this out, I sort of put this down first and then figured out from there where I wanted the littler flowers to be at. And I just stuck on the smaller die cut flowers with some glue dots. Just one in the center kind of. And, oh, you know what? I actually need to put the leaves down first. I almost forgot about those. So again, just quick glue dot with the leaves on. And adhere those on here to the card front. I just kind of tucked them in and around the little die cut wonky backgroundy, you know, whatever we want to call it. Stem, I guess, like I said, I'm going to stem. I think stem is a good way that I don't have to worry about it. So, hey, Lori, thanks for joining today. So, all right, so we've got another set of leaves and a flower that we're going to do down here kind of in this area on the card. So I'm going to have it hanging off just a little bit off the page, not way off so that it's not hanging off the entire card base, but we'll tuck the flower up here under that. And then we're going to put the third flower on. We're going to kind of tuck it in up here towards the top. So I sort of need to know where my other piece is going to end up at so that I get the flower so that it shows just a little bit and isn't kind of sticking out there in outer space. All right, so the next thing that I did was actually took some glue dots and adhered down. These are little leaves that I cut with the Cherry Blossoms dies, and hopefully you can see that it embosses and cuts it at the same time. So, and this is again from Old Olive cardstock, if I haven't said that already. I don't remember whether I did or I didn't. But just using a couple little glue dots here, and we're going to tuck these up under the flowers in and around things here. So hopefully y'all are enjoying your Tuesday. And again, don't forget that if you are not a demonstrator, you actually can join and add these fantastic new items to your starter kit starting on December 3rd. Or you can join now and do your own pre-order starting on December 3rd as well, just like all the other demonstrators do. So if you are interested in joining, definitely let me know. I'd be happy to chat with you more about it and can answer any questions that you have. So, all right, so let's get the last little leaf put on here. Well, maybe I'll wait to put him on until I actually glue the big piece down. So let's do that first. So I've got some Stampin' Dimensionals, and yes, Mary, they are cut in half because, you know, I'm cheap. We have this discussion every time Mary's on. Well, and even sometimes when she's not, but I cut my dimensionals in half because I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like they work better for me. It's a better size when they're cut long ways like this. So, but I think Mary should be proud of me that I put like 59,000 of them on. So that's kind of a Mary thing to do. Only she'd have put the whole ones on, but I'm cheap and I put half ones. So, all right. Hey, Patricia. Oh, Patricia says she's loving the embossing of the dies. Yes, it's really pretty. And like I said, it's a really great, I love the whole bundle, all the flowers, everything about it I like. So beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we're going to lay that down over the top. And then because I wanted this leaf to be sort of peeking out here, I wanted to make sure I knew where the rest of my images were going to land so that I could get it in the right spot. So that's most of the card front. So we got the flowers pretty well on here and aligned. Then let me get that out of the way. So hopefully I can get to my papers here again and my stamp set. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp the sentiment. And again, we're going to use the Life is a Magnificent Adventure. And we're going to stamp it in Old Olive ink on Whisper White cardstock. So, looks like I didn't get it inked very well. And I actually think that I need to re-ink my Old Olive because it's getting to the point where if I stamp or try to stamp something in the middle, no ink comes off anymore. So I have to go to the edges and then I stamp it upside down. You know, it's a good thing I'm die cutting this. Yikes. So, all right. So I am using one of these stitched rectangle dies and I'm just going to go ahead and die cut the sentiment out. So I'm going to wheel over here again Mary's not going to respond about the Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh, I probably hurt her feelings and all. So, all right, so let me get this lined up over here and get the die cutting done while you all are staring at the blank screen. Also wanted to remind you that we've got the Christmas Time Is Here product suite is still available, which I'm sort of shocked. All the pieces are still in the online store, at least as far as I know, and available to order. And of course, this die is being really finicky right now. So those are all still available to order, and the new Stampin' Up! Trimmer is also available. So don't forget to add those to your orders here soon so that you don't miss out on getting that Christmas Time Is Here bundle. All right. I think I got it cut straight, hopefully. All right, I think I did it. I was a little worried. It was, like I said, it was kind of jumping around here on the little platform. I didn't want to stay still. So, all right, so we are going to stick this on with a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals. And again, they're cut in half because they fit really nicely on lots of things and because I'm cheap. So, all right, so let's go ahead and add in the sentiment. And I think I'm going to tuck it in kind of close here to the flowers, like I did with the other one, only the other one was a little obviously larger, so a little different look to it. And then the last piece that I added here on the card front were some champagne rhinestone basic jewels. And again, these are available in the new mini catalog. They're absolutely stunning. So if you can't see them very well, hopefully you can see how pretty they are on the screen. You will love them when you get them, and I know you all are going to order them because who wouldn't? Because they're really, really, really pretty. And, you know, champagne, how can we not like that? So I'm just going to add in a couple of those here around the flowers. And then we're going to call the card front. Well, I have to stick it onto the card base, but then the card front is pretty much done. So I think I'm going to move this one down just a hair. All right, stick those down. And then we're going to pull out some Pool Party, a Pool Party card base. Again, this is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's cut and it's scored at 4 1/4 in the middle here. And then I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals and add the decorated little card front panel to the card base. And so y'all getting ready for Thanksgiving and got your turkeys thawing or whatever you need to do with turkeys. We are not turkey people at my house. If you followed my blog for a little while and have been through a Thanksgiving with me, you all know that we do prime rib at our house because my thought on it is that I don't want to have to do all the work of making the turkey, doing all the prep, doing all the sides, doing all the whatever, and then still just having a turkey to eat when we're done with it. So we do prime rib here because we like that better than turkey. So that's what we do at our house. So hopefully you all have your turkeys and everything thawing, or your prime rib like we do, have that all ordered up and ready to go. All right, last thing we need to do is decorate the inside of the card a little bit. And this is just a Whisper White cardstock panel, which is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. Got a little smoky slate ink, and then one of the flower images from the Forever Blossom stamp set. And gonna put the two together here, hopefully get a good inky image. And then I'm just gonna stamp it across the corner of the cardstock panel. Close up my ink pad before I stick my fingers in it, which I probably will, and then use a little bit of snail to adhere it on the inside of the card base. And I think that's about all that we have for today. Turkey and ham for us, Mary's saying, and friends in the presents, prime rib. Oh, yeah, prime rib. I see. Turkey, I'm like, who wants to have turkey? Do all the work, and it's still just turkey when you get done with it. So you do prime rib at Christmas. That's what normal people do. I don't know. I guess we're weird just because, like I said, if I got to do all the work, I don't want to have it be just turkey when I'm done with it. So, all right. So here are the cards. This is the one that I had for my sample card, and then this is the one we made today with a little different sentiment, a little different size on the sentiment. Hopefully you like the card, and definitely these things are fantastic from the new upcoming mini catalog. So I will be sending them out to my customers. If you've ordered from me within the last year, you will get your hands on the catalog just as soon as I can get it out to you. I can't order them until December 3rd, but I will definitely get the catalogs mailed out just as soon as I have them. So hopefully, you will get your catalogs during probably the second week of December. So you'll have that in the celebration catalogs to look forward to coming in the mail. So let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything I can help you with. Thanks again for joining me today. Hopefully you enjoy the cards. Hopefully you all have a fantastic Thanksgiving. And I will plan to see you guys next week, Tuesday. Thanks for joining.